Okay, so today I'm going to go over the sales cycle with you. A lot of people have been asking about this process, and I'm very, very big on this process because it's so important to convert leads. You spend money for leads, you advertise, you do pay per click, or maybe you just put a lot of sweat into it and you go door to door, you're finding prospects, you're finding clients, and you can't get them to convert and generate into a paying customer. Well, we know how frustrating that can be. I've been there too. I completely understand. But today I'm going to help you and introduce to you our sales cycle that I recommend every single person in a sales position follows in order to convert leads into paying customers. So this is something that I go through with my sales team every single week. This is something that you have to stay in front of all the time and constantly be refreshing your memory and your skill set. This is something that we role play on. So even with our team, we'll go and we'll role play where one person's the customer, one person's the sales rep, and we go through the sales cycle and see exactly how this incorporates in a real life situation with a client. So I will just kind of go through these with you right away so you can understand what's up here. But number 1 is our greeting. Number 2 is qualifying. 3 is demonstrate. 4 is make the proposal. 5 is close the offer. 6 is follow up. And I added this number 7 in, and that's ask for a referral. There's no reason why, if you do a great job for a customer, why they wouldn't be willing to refer you to somebody else, which could be a family, friend, coworker, etc. All right, so this piece right here, asking for a referral, is also, if you want to get that, it's also very important to follow this sales cycle because you don't want to lose them because you have potential clients up ahead of you that you can help. All right, so one thing I really want to point out about the sales cycle is that every salesperson on your team who engages and interacts with a customer, even if they have already engaged and interacted with another team member. So let's say, for example, a guy named Tom came into the shop and he was looking for paint protection film and window tint for his new Tesla Model Y. And Tom had engaged with Jimmy, who is our sales rep up front. And Jimmy has already gone through the process with the customer Tom and went through pricing and went through the different options and the coverage areas and all of that and wrote the proposal, basically did his entire sales cycle with the customer. But the only thing that hasn't happened yet is they haven't closed the deal. Well, if a new sales rep engages with Tom, one thing to remember is now the sales cycle completely starts over, right? So you've probably been in a situation where a customer has spoken to or dealt with another sales rep within your organization and they haven't closed him. Now the new sales rep makes the call to introduce themselves and see where they're at in their decision making, but they fail to realize that the sales cycle with them has just begun. So what ends up happening is the other sales rep calls in and tries to start right here without building rapport or asking qualifying questions. So that new person engaging with a customer, regardless of if that customer has been to your organization, has already received pricing, has already been educated and informed, it is still that new rep's responsibility and obligation to restart the sales cycle. I hope I explained that. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that every single sales rep needs to pretend in their mind and be mentally prepared to start from step 1 as if that customer has never, ever, ever stepped foot into our organization or been assisted, right? Because if sales rep number 1 did a great job, we would have probably closed the offer. So the reason why customers don't buy is lack of value or lack of education, or they're uncertain. There's something not quite connecting there, in order for them to make a confident and informed decision. So if sales rep 1 had filled all those gaps, then we probably would have closed the offer. So the new rep coming in to try to save the lead and convert it needs to start at the very beginning. Okay, so let's go into our greeting. Number 1 is our greeting. This is so important, right? You've heard the term, there's no better time to make a great first impression than the first impression. Is that how it goes? Okay, so that is very true in this step right here, your greeting. This is how people are going to perceive you. This is how you are going to set the tone. Your greeting is going to give energy, right? Energy is magnetic. So when you're engaging with customers, you want to be confident. You want to have great communication. When you shake their hand, you want it to be strong. You want to be confident in what you're doing. I would also recommend writing a script. So, and following that script. So in a greeting, it could be on the phone, it could be in person, right? You have different scenarios as to how this greeting is going to go. So actually, I'll use you as an example. So come right here. Let's say that you have a customer who comes into your facility to shop for a product or service, right? So we'll go through a phone scenario too. But somebody comes in and they walk in your door, and I'm going to show you how I greet our customers when they walk in the door. So go ahead and back up a little bit and act like you're gonna walk in. Okay, go ahead. Hi, how are you? Welcome in.
I'm great, how are you?
I'm great. My name is Jen. What's your name?
Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So tell me, what brings you in today?
I got a new Tesla, just looking for paint protection film and ceramic coating for it. I heard you guys have a package.
Yeah.
It's like lifetime warranty.
Oh my gosh, well that's so great. Thank you so much for coming in. Is your vehicle here?
It is, yeah.
Okay, well let's go and take a look at it. I'd be happy to help you out.
Perfect.
Then I walk outside. So how's your day going?
Going great.
That's awesome. This weather is crazy, right?
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, it is. That's great. So when did you get the vehicle?
I literally just picked it up over in Glendale.
Oh my gosh. Well, lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like it so far?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
My friends have them, so
yeah.
I decided to get
You know,
one.
I love this color. This is actually my favorite color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked the blue because that's what,
yeah.
that's the color I like.
I love it. It looks really, really great. So tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for.
I've heard that the paint on these cars is terrible and everything. There's a couple little blemishes, but I'm not like one of those guys that like nitpicks things,
Yeah.
I drive up and down the I-10. I drive about 50 miles a day. My kids get in and out of it. I want to keep it, for, like 5 or 6 years, and I'll trade it in. But I like driving a clean vehicle. Like I just want it to stay protected, and I know Arizona's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, you've come into the right place. This is what we do. So you're going to be extremely happy with the outcome that we provide.
I've heard great things about you guys.
That's great.
I'm a researcher.
You are?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping in, and I'll go over this all with you.
Awesome.
Okay, cut. All right. So, because then that's gonna, if we would have kept going, we would have been into the qualifying piece of that. So your greeting needs to be so cheerful and so exciting that people feel warm and fuzzy. The best sales reps are ones that can develop great friendships, right? So you're just engaged. You're, oh my gosh, how are you today? How are you doing, right? How's your day going? Welcome in. We can definitely take care of you. That is something that we 1000% can handle. Like, you're building rapport, you're building confidence. The way you introduce yourself in the greeting is everything. When you say, hi, my name is Jen, like I'm leaning into him, right? My name is Jen, nice to meet you. And I'm making eye contact, right? So a lot of times what I see is people, go ahead, I'm gonna play the other scenario, but people will come into the shop and it's, hey, how are you? What can I help you with?
Yeah, very robotic.
It's very bland, right? And this is also setting the tone, and we'll talk about this in another video, but having music in your shop, setting a tone of excitement, making people feel like, wow, this is the jam right here. So just being confident in your greeting, making eye contact, being engaged, leaning into them, that is very, very important in this greeting, right? So what I see sometimes too is people will be like, okay, well, so what brings you in today?
Paint protection film on my vehicle.
Okay, cool. What kind of car do you got?
A Tesla Model Y.
Okay, yeah, we have some different pricing and packages available. Anything specific you're looking for?
Just want to protect the front of the car.
Okay. Yeah, so let me go through these packages with you.
Yeah.
Boom, they go to the price.
Yep.
They're missing this right here.
And I want to point out that right there is what we see
All the time.
I mean,
The most common.
75% of the time, right?
Can it work? It can.
Yep.
But if you're really looking to hit big numbers, chances are you're not going to hit as big in numbers as you could if you're a little bit more strategic and patient with your sales cycle. Okay, so let's go into qualifying questions. This is so important. I see so many sales reps try to make a recommendation before they even have any idea on what the customer needs and what their wants are. How are you going to make a solid recommendation if you have no idea what they're looking for, or what their needs are, or what their lifestyle is, or how long they plan on keeping a vehicle? Let's say you have somebody who keeps a vehicle for only a year, right? That's pretty much us. We don't keep our vehicles very long. So if you have somebody that keeps a vehicle a year, but you're trying to push an ultimate armor package on them, they're probably not really going to be interested in that, because that's not the kind of driving they do. Or maybe they only drive about 3,000 miles a year and they don't even keep the car that long. So you have to fully understand the needs of the client before you can start spilling into anything else and giving pricing and giving information, because now it's just a shot in the dark. Now you're just shooting from the hip and you don't really know which way to go. So then when you start getting your rebuttals and your objections, you have no ammunition to overcome those rebuttals and objections, because in the beginning of the sales cycle, you didn't fully understand their needs. So this is where great listening skills comes into play when you're a sales rep. You know, you have to have great communication skills, written, verbal communication skills, but most importantly, you have to be a great listener and be able to understand exactly the solution and the gap that you're trying to fulfill for that person. So qualifying questions, we'll kind of role play this out too. A qualifying question, just like I mentioned, would be, how long do you plan on keeping the vehicle? Tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. Do you have kids? Is it just you who drives the vehicle? Do you have a spouse? All the gurus, go ahead and post your qualifying questions of like something that's really effective for you so that the group can share that. But these are qualifying questions that you're gonna ask. Remember, when you're asking your qualifying questions, don't be robotic. So, how long do you plan on keeping the car? Okay, check, write that down. Do you have kids? Okay, check, right. No, it's going to flow. This is gonna flow, right? So let's go back in. We're gonna pick up where we left off on our last role play and go into the qualifying questions. So so we can definitely take care of that. That is not a problem. That's exactly what we do here. So tell me a little bit more. So are you driving this every day? How many miles are you putting on the vehicle?
About 75 miles round trip.
Every day?
Every day down
wow.
the highway, yep.
Where do you work?
I live in Surprise, but work in Scottsdale.
Oh, that's cool. What do you do?
I'm a doctor.
Oh, you are? What kind of doctor?
Heart surgeon.
You know, I can never do that, but I really appreciate doctors.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah, you're
wow,
welcome.
That's really cool because, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you drive about 75 miles round trip every single day. Do you go up this freeway right here?
Yeah, I take the 101 every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just getting hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my last car was destroyed.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this is going to help with that.
Yeah.
But do you have kids?
Yeah, 2 kids.
Yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. How old? I have kids too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 3 and 13.
That's awesome. How cute.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are thinking, like, do you really talk to your customers like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I mean, you just have to charm them.
But like, not to get off track or nothing, but like that's how you relate with people.
You relate with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I tell people that like our daughter rides horses. Like, oh my god, my daughter rides horses too. Like, this is how, like, to a lot of people this comes off very fake.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you better get good at that, because it allows you to relate with people.
But you can also build great relationships and
100%.
some of the greatest friendships, you know.
Yeah, some of the greatest friendships that we have were people that called in our customers and we just related with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, well, that's really cool. Is it you and your wife that drive this car, or is it primarily you?
Pretty much just me. I mean,
Okay.
when we go on like family trips, like we drive, family trips, like, Disney or, Vegas or something, we
That's
usually
cool.
drive. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. Awesome.
But
So,
mainly it's used for just going to work and kind of running around town.
yeah, awesome. Well, I have some recommendations for you,
Mhm.
and we can customize any package that's gonna fit your needs. I'm not gonna oversell you on anything that you don't need, but I don't wanna promote or propose anything that's not going to give you what you need.
Yeah.
So with my recommendation, just based on your driving lifestyle and things like that, and remember, we can tailor this as you need, but for the paint protection film, at a bare minimum, I would recommend what's called a full frontal. Okay, some people like to pair that with ceramic coatings, and I can go more into that and more in depth with you on that. But I would definitely recommend the full frontal.
Yeah.
And that is our most popular, and it gives you the coverage on the most vulnerable areas of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So for example, it's going to cover the full hood, the full front fenders, we do the headlights, the fog lights, the mirrors, the door edge guards. And I even have people who oftentimes want to throw in like the A-pillars and things like that, just to keep those protected, because that is part of the front end of the vehicle that gets a lot of damage.
I'm the kind of person that whatever you recommend is most likely what I'll go with.
Yeah, no, that's great. But that's what I would recommend, and I would say let's even look at our track pack too. So that's going to give you a little more protection. That's going to do these bottom rockers here.
Okay.
These vehicles they are susceptible to damage there as well. So I'll customize it, that way you know exactly what it's gonna cost, what's covered, and all the details in that. Do you like to drive a clean vehicle? Are you that guy? You really like to drive a clean vehicle?
I like it to be clean. Like I get it washed. Like,
I kind of got that vibe, like you're just a very clean cut guy.
Yeah, I like it to be clean.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we also have ceramic coating packages. Are you familiar with ceramic coating? Do you know what that is?
I like to do research. So yeah, I know that you guys have that Ultimate Armor package.
Yeah, that was kind of going to lead me into my next proposal to you, is our Ultimate Armor package. I think that would also be a great fit.
Yeah.
So how long do you plan on keeping this vehicle?
About 5 to 6 years.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that would be a really great option. And the really great part of that is that also comes with a lifetime warranty nationwide.
Okay.
It is even registered under your Carfax.
Yeah, well, I'm the person that, like, when I'm done with this car, I'll give it to like my mom and dad or something.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
yeah, so this car is gonna stay looking new forever.
Perfect.
Yeah, awesome. So let's talk about the window tint.
Yeah.
With the window tint, are you just want to go high performance? That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I think that you guys had something like Ultimate IR or something.
Yeah.
I want to block as much heat. It's hot as hell here, so.
Yeah, I recommend Ultimate IR all day. That is the best film available in the marketplace today. It rejects up to 98% of infrared heat. With a climate like this, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So what I recommend, we do every piece of glass in the vehicle.
Okay.
We do all the side windows, the back window, the windshield, and the sunroof. That's going to keep the car extremely cooler and more comfortable when driving.
Sign me up.
Yeah, and you're also going to protect your interior too.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. So let's go inside. We'll write all this up. I know it's a lot of information, but I will customize this for you, and I'll also show you some other vehicles in the back that we're working that are getting these same services. Perfect. Okay. All right. So then now that we went through the qualifying piece, almost caught me there. Man, I gotta keep up on this. Okay. That's why you gotta practice every single week. So that you're quick on your feet, right? The next piece into this is demonstration, right? People don't believe what you say, people believe what they see. So this is why it's also important to close sales and deals, so you always have vehicles in your shop that you can show to potential prospects when they come in. So when you're demonstrating and showing vehicles, people are like, wow, that's so cool. Especially when it comes to paint protection film, because they will notice right then and there that it's undetectable, you can't see it. And they can touch it and they can feel it, and you can show them the edges, and you can show them like just exactly what their vehicle is going to look like.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like, I want that.
Yep.
Right? Or let's say you have a vehicle in the back that's getting a chrome delete, or they're getting powder coating, or they're getting the ultimate armor, or they're getting window tint. They're like, I want that shade, and I want those wheels, and I want that paint protection film. They're able to see it, and they're able to kind of fall in love with it. That's why car salesmen always take you on a test drive, because they want your emotional buy-in.
It's called see it, touch it, smell it, and feel it.
Yeah.
If you can make people do that, you can
make them do anything.
Make them do anything. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to do. That's a salesperson's job.
Yeah. So you always want to make sure that you demonstrate. Now, I am going to add one more step into this demonstration. And in this demonstration piece, we're going to add a little step in there. You are going to introduce a what?
Tech.
Third party.
Yeah. We call it a third party, meaning an installer.
Your installer. Now, this is where your installers have to be on the same page of your mission, vision, and values, so that when you bring these prospects to them to help them build rapport and close the deal, they're on the same page and they're ready for that. So when we introduce customers to techs, this is what I say. Tom, this is Tyler, or this is Ryan, and this is who will actually be doing the work on your car. As you can see, he's finishing up this other Tesla right now. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask him. But then you're going to engage. The tech is going to engage with the customer. The customer doesn't have to have questions. It is the technician's and third parties' responsibility to know that, okay, it's showtime. It's time to perform. Let's go, right? They're also going to demonstrate. How are they going to demonstrate? They're going to demonstrate by showing the vehicle that's in the shop.
Right.
That they're working on.
Standing right in front of it.
So that sales cycle starts from the beginning, even with that third party. Now, obviously, the tech is not going to make the proposal. The salesperson is going to make the proposal. But these steps here, your third party can absolutely do with that prospect. Okay? So they are helping the sales rep close the deal and close the deal, close the offer. All right. So next, you'll bring your customer back to your front counter. Make sure that your space is readily available for people. You don't have papers everywhere. You have a clean space. Offer them a bottle of water. Can I get you anything to drink? If you guys have a coffee bar or station, be accommodating, right? It's just like when you go to somebody's home. You want to feel welcome. Like when people come to my house, I tell them, don't ask me for water. There's the fridge, help yourself, make yourself at home. At work, in your position as a sales rep, it is your job and your duty to make them feel comfortable. That is only going to help you convert this prospect as well. So offer them a bottle of water, get them comfortable. Do you ever notice that at dealerships, they invite like the wiener wagons and the hot dog wagons and the food trucks? Why do they do that for people? Because they get them comfortable. They get them eating, they get them a bottle of water. Can I get you a candy bar? Can I get you a donut? Like, that's why these places do that, is because they want people to feel comfortable. That's what you're trying to do, is get your prospect comfortable. Every single customer that comes through the door, I ask them if they want a bottle of water. If you're not stocking water in your shop, then I would definitely consider doing that right away. So here I'm going to get them comfortable, and then I'm going to start putting together their proposal. People like to see visuals. So we have exact, sales materials that show the different packages that I was just explaining very vaguely outside with their vehicle. So
Well,
that
hold on.
they
If you do a great job of this.
absolutely,
They
but
don't
this is more on the screen with the numbers.
Right, but I'm saying if you do a great job of this, most people don't even pay attention to the displays.
Yeah, so I will, I can pretty much sell any package without a display. All right, but I do have digital sales materials to give people visuals. I'll kind of post a little thing in here for you guys too, so you guys can see that. But you want your customers to be able to see the difference in the coverage areas amongst each package and what they're getting. You don't want to make it complicated for people. A, B, or C. Then like for window tint, we have A, B, 1, 2. Like that's it. Some people have Expel and 3M and Lumar and all of these different films and all of these different options and all of these different displays, and it's like too much, right? Do you want a film on steroids or do you want moderate protection? A or B? I want B. Perfect. I got an option for you. This is what you need. Don't complicate it. We'll do it in a different video, but I use the analogy of don't get yourself caught up in a barbed wire fence in a sale when you don't need to. All right, but that's a whole nother topic and we'll go over that another time. But when you're making your proposal, you just want to lay it out and you want the customer to know exactly what they're getting and exactly the price. You don't want to overcomplicate it, right? Full frontal, A pillars, full window tint, sides and rear, windshield, sunroof.
And I just want to point something out. I had said to her in the qualifying questions, perfect, I'm going to do whatever you recommend. This right here is where your salesperson has to be like
on it.
On top of it. Because if it were me and I was making this proposal, I'm going Ultimate IR on every single piece of glass and I'm going the Ultimate Armor package. That's what I recommend for that person. That's why this is so important.
Yeah.
So important. When I hear the terms, I'm going to go with what you recommend, money in the bank.
Right.
I already know where I'm going.
Right, exactly. And
I don't even have to give options A and B, right?
Yeah. And there's times too where I, I'll throw something in just to make them feel good about it.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Just little things like that.
Yeah.
But really listening to what their needs are.
Listening skills are this is important.
So like with the Ultimate Armor, let's just say boom, that's $42.99. Okay, on their vehicle. And then their window tint install is actually that vehicle would be $1,700. Okay.
Yep.
So that would be the package that I would recommend. I would also recommend a C-bond.
Yep.
Because they do a lot of driving, so that's $149.
Yep.
And I mean that would be pretty much my recommendation. Now, this didn't include rockers, so we can always add the rockers into that Ultimate Armor package, which I would probably do. So I'm gonna add an additional $400 there.
Yep.
All right, so you guys have to be able to build a package like this. This is why having your crap together and organized and having your pricing readily available and trained on with your sales reps is so important. If your sales rep has a customer like this who knows what they want the best, they're ready to buy, let's go, but you have a sales rep or yourself at the counter fumbling, trying to figure it out. Oh, what was that? Well, and they're like, hold on, wait a second, and they're just very unorganized and scattered. You're going to lose a customer like that immediately.
Yep.
The customer will start backpedaling and they'll say, well, let me think about it. And, they came in very optimistic, but they're leaving completely doubtful and less confident in your ability.
Yep.
And if you're fumbling,
It won't work.
well, they're thinking in their mind that your install team is probably going to fumble.
Yeah, so what goes on the front, they're thinking that's what goes on in the back. And now that comfortable feeling that you've just took this time to build and created, you're gonna lose it all. And in this video, like this video's on the longer side, right? This whole thing, 15, 20 minutes.
It depends on how many. I get asked that question.
Ultimately, depends on the customer. Like you get that customer that comes in and they have all these papers and they've done all this research. You're an hour. You know.
It depends.
But I mean, on average, I would probably say within 20 minutes we have full sales cycle done.
Yeah, and if you feel like it's taking longer, you have to identify: are you holding up the sale?
Right.
Are you talking too much?
Yep.
Are you getting off target? Are you getting off track? Are you maybe talking about the football game and you're talking about horses? Or like, don't go down rabbit holes and valleys and streams.
This is that barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
Which we'll do a lot. I'm telling you right now, a lot of your salespeople are doing this.
Yes, and they're talking their way out of the sale, which I used to do a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would just talk way too much.
Yep.
But anyway, so you have to be able to create these numbers, put this together, and still be profitable in a very fast and efficient amount of time. People don't want to stand at a counter waiting for a sales rep to get their crap together.
This is why the CRM is so important, right?
Yes, but also we have our individual sales sheets too.
Right.
So that's really helpful, and that helps the sales reps sell
Yep.
these products and services a lot more efficiently and effectively. All right, so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna close the deal. All right, so let's close the deal. So what do you see a lot of people do when it comes to closing the deal? And they're kind of talking their way out of the sale. When it comes down to asking for some moolah, they get a little insecure or less confident.
So number one thing that we were taught is you sell the way that you buy, right?
Yes.
So I tell everybody, you know, I've challenged a salesperson before. I said, you know what? You're having a hard time with these numbers because that's very expensive to you.
Yes.
That's a lot of money to you, which it is a lot of money. I am not discrediting that. Like, right? They're about to fork out close to $7,000.
Yeah.
You know, you need to go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Scottsdale Fashion Square, and I want you to go purchase yourself a pair of Christian Louboutins.
Yeah.
And most people are like, all right, I'll do that, and then they don't do it. Why? Why do they not do it?
Well, because they're thousands of dollars for a pair of shoes.
And so what's happening? When they write this up, they see this number.
And that's a lot to them.
Oh, so that's a lot of money. So how are they going to present this close offer?
Yeah. They're going to be scared.
They're scared. They're scared. If it were me, he's already told me, well, I'm backwards here now, but yeah, so you told me that I'm going to go with whatever you recommend.
Yeah.
What your salespeople are doing is they are writing a lower number offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this over. I'm going to turn my screen around, let them see it, and I'm going to watch that instant reaction.
Yeah.
And that instant reaction is either going to be like, oh shit.
The energy.
Or it's going to be, oh, all right. You know, I was expecting to come in here to spend $10,000. You know, this is perfect. Let's do it.
So if you get that response and they're all in, where do you go from there?
Accept the estimate.
Perfect.
Accept the estimate.
You don't ask any more questions.
Yep.
Shut the F up.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Yes. Turn that computer around, give them the mouse, and say, all I need you to do is click here, it accepts the estimate. We'll collect the deposit from you, whatever your deposits are. If you're not doing deposits,
another video.
Have them pay their deposit and get them scheduled. But, okay, once again, this is where your good salesperson comes in. What did this guy just say at the beginning? He just what?
Bought the car.
I just picked this car up. Okay. What else did he say? Oh no, I didn't end up saying it. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. Okay. Most people that just bought a Tesla, their trade-in program, this is why you need to know these things, their trade-in program is a little funky. You don't take your car there, right? And drop it off.
Oh.
You keep your car and you pick up your new car. So now what do you have?
Your other car.
You have your other car still, which you still technically own. Because it takes Tesla their delivery, or theirs, whoever picks the car up, 7 to 10 days.
To get the
so what is that telling your salesperson?
They have 2 cars.
They got 2 cars. I need you to leave here's what I'd recommend. As soon as you put this car on the road, it's going to start getting rock chips in it. Yeah. That's Arizona. That is the truth. We're not bullshitting people, right? That is the absolute truth. Leave your car here right now. oh, you guys can get it in right now?
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
leave space on our schedule, and
Just
we
for
are
in-house.
running ahead on a few projects. Leave your car here right now. It's
Okay.
very convenient for you because you have your other vehicle already.
Yeah.
Drive that. It's going to take us about 3 to 4 days to complete your vehicle. We'll get it done back to you, and you're protected.
Yeah. Do you want me to call you an Uber?
Convenience.
Yeah, convenience.
Service.
Just very easy
Yeah.
to do business
So
with.
this is, of course, listen, when you go from here to here, this is where you can start getting yourself caught up in a bind, because
confidence.
you might have to have confidence. They might start throwing rebuttals. Look, I came in here and I can only spend about $5,000.
Mhm.
So now you're at a package at 7. Now we need to start working backwards.
Right.
Maybe we're doing a partial front with just an ion package and tinting everything but the sunroof, like whatever
Right.
your totals come out to be.
Yeah.
Now that's where you need to start into getting your package, which we can.
But
there's
a
a lot of
lot
things
of
we can do.
people, a lot of people start at a partial.
That's what I was trying to say. So a lot
Yeah.
of people start because they sell the way that they buy.
Yeah,
Right?
confidence.
That confidence isn't there. To them, 3,000 might be a lot. So the first package that they submitted to this customer might be a $3,000
Yeah.
package, when this customer was already willing to spend 7.
Well,
So
now
what
they're-
happened to your
Yeah.
company's sales and revenue and net profit?
Yeah.
You could have got 7, but you only got 3 because your person sold the way that they buy.
Right, but they also lost the trust of the customer because now you're underselling.
Yes.
And now they just think you're uneducated and kind of
And
dumb.
that's why all this stuff, this sales cycle, I get a lot of people that don't do this stuff, and this is so important. Like your whole team, if you have 4 salespeople, they all have to be following this.
Yeah,
Word, like that. This has to be. Of course, what you say in between here might be different,
it is.
but you have to follow this all the way through, because this is what it does. Like you might have a company that's doing 50,000. You should be doing 100,000
Yeah, they're losing.
because you're losing so much. So
Yeah, absolutely. So
So
this
close your
piece
eye.
here, this is where we definitely want to role play a lot and building up that confidence so that you're not selling the way you buy. And I would highly encourage you guys to go out and buy something really expensive and start to feel, if you can, obviously don't put yourself in a hole, but some people just like to, conserve all their
you sell the
their
way
money.
that you buy is we learned that from Brandon Dawson, and I mean
Yeah.
it's like it is very, very true.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So you go in, you close your offer. Once they've accepted the offer, quit talking. You don't need to talk any further. It doesn't mean you become this grump because you got the deal, but you just need to carry yourself in a very confident manner, and now you're ready to get down to business. You're ready to get their car in. So after I close and after they accept, I say, all right, I'll take your key. That is the biggest thing I use, because now I know when that key's in my hand, this is a deal. This is a done deal. This is a closed deal. I take that key. Brendan, Heather, Tyler, whoever's in the back, get this Tesla pulled in immediately, right? And that also shows the customer that you are on top of it and you are ready to start working on their vehicle immediately. Now, granted, you might not touch that car until the following day, right? But in the customer's mind, you are attentive. You are being there to support them. You are getting the job done in a quick and efficient manner. And in their mind, that car is going to be back to them and back on the road in no time so that they can enjoy it.
Yep.
Perfect.
You would skip follow-up.
Well, no, you
And
always
this
want to
deal.
follow up. Yeah, so you always want to follow up with your customer even at the end of the deal.
Yeah.
So see how they're doing. Are they enjoying their new
No,
package?
I'm sorry. I'm saying, like, if you were to close the offer right there in your shop,
Yeah.
you would skip this part for right now. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so obviously, like right through here,
Yeah.
there's a follow up, right? Let's
Right.
say that they don't close with you.
Yeah.
Your follow up game needs to be ridiculous, right? So
Whole different video.
yeah. So right here, follow up. But we can go over that another time. But this is following up, checking in on them, making sure that they're happy with their purchase. And during that process, you can ask for a referral since they did a great job for you. A great way to set yourself up here is down here when you close this offer. If we do a great job for you today, would you have any problem referring us to your family and friends? That's if we do a great job for you and you're 100% happy. Oh yeah, no problem. Because most people, especially with these new Teslas and electric vehicles, they have friends and family that are buying these cars up too.
Yeah.
And they're going to need the same service. So,
I can't tell you how many customers live in a neighborhood, because neighborhoods are
Yeah.
important here, gated community, stuff like that.
Yep.
This person bought this Tesla because their neighbor has a Tesla and they got to
Right.
see it and ride it and touch it
Yeah.
and feel and smell and everything. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Except for one thing. She said, if we do a good job for you, if it were me, I would say, see, wording is important. She taught me this.
Yeah.
I'm from the East Coast. I have a hard time with wording.
Yeah.
When we do a great job for you, Tom, will you refer us to your friends and family?
Absolutely. That's another way and a more confident way to put it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then if you want to get more Google reviews, that could be a good one up here as well. And of course, there's things in between here.
Yeah.
But when we do a good job for you, Tom, will you leave us a 5-star? Or I'm sorry. When we do a great job for you, Tom, will you please leave us a Google review or Yelp or whatever people use? We like Google, but
Absolutely.
so there's ways you can do things. But these are all separate videos. This sales cycle is what we wanted to review in this video with you.
Yeah. So don't get yourself caught up in a barbed wire fence. Don't go down too many valleys and peaks and rabbit holes that are totally unnecessary. Stay on target, but also be genuine. Be genuine in helping that customer. Now, we did say you kind of got to go into this character and this role and put on a face, right?
Yeah.
But yes, that is true, but also be genuine in helping that customer.
Yep.
People can feel and people can sense when you're not genuine. So
Energy.
you want to make sure that your energy is on point, you're excited, leave all of your crap at the door. If you're having issues at home, if you're having issues in the workplace, hopefully not. But if you're having any type of conflict or maybe something personal is going on that's weighing on you, when that customer comes in, you need to let all of that go. It's showtime. You got to put on that face, put on that smile, and be ready to serve them and start that sales cycle so that you can hit your targets each and every day, every single week, month, and year.
Yep.
And then the next phase of that is teaching your sales reps and the people underneath you how to master this same sales cycle just like you did. And that is how you build a great organization.